Hi, I'm Nigel Bloomfield from the Happy Giraffe Budget. Today we're going to be talking about the idea behind this budget system. If you want the psychology and why all of the different things work, that's all in our book, and I'll link to that in the description below. But today it's just getting started with the basics. While I'm describing this, it might sound like the things I'm talking about are complicated or overwhelming, but that's why we made the spreadsheet. That's also available for free on our website. That's going to do all of the hard work for you. In the next video, I'll walk you through step by step how to apply all of the steps I'm going to talk about. But in this video, it's just the concept and the idea behind everything. We're going to start with what a typical budget looks like. So normally, you would look forward to 1 month, and then you would guess what your income is going to be. Then you decide how it's going to get spent throughout the month. Usually there's lots and lots of categories, and your job is to decide down to the penny in every category how much gets spent. Then you live through that month, you make lots of mistakes, and things come up that you hadn't planned on. You get to the end of the month, you reconcile it all, you beat yourself up a little bit, and then you do it all over again. Almost every budget system is based off the same basic idea, and for us, it just didn't work very well, so we do things a little bit differently. Instead of looking forward 1 month and making the best guess you can in lots of different categories, we actually look forward 12 to 24 months. That's 1 to 2 years. That's very, very different. But you can do that because we're only looking at two things. We're looking at income and fixed expenses. You're going to ignore everything else right now because you can't predict it. But your income and your fixed expenses don't actually change that much. Now, I know that sounds crazy, but it really does work. And with our spreadsheet, it's actually easy to do. Now, I know you also might be thinking, my income and my fixed expenses aren't exactly the same for the next 2 years. And of course, they're not going to be exactly the same. This is just a snapshot. This is just looking into our future and saying, where I'm headed right now, what would happen if things stayed the same? I absolutely hope that your income in 2 years is higher than it is right now. And I also hope that some of your fixed expenses that you have right now, you don't have, or that they're a lot smaller in the future. And when those things change, you'll come back and you'll edit this spreadsheet and you'll look forward again. It's worth the effort because there are some great benefits to seeing your finances in this bigger picture view. So just like any other budget, we're going to start with our income. This isn't too hard. You just take what you make right now, put that in our spreadsheet, and it'll do the math for you. Then we'll look at fixed expenses. These are your bills, any debt payments you have, insurance, monthly subscriptions. Savings should be included here too. We're not looking at groceries, entertainment, clothing, none of that. Those are all going to come later. This is where you're going to be responsible, looking ahead, figuring out if you can get rid of or reduce some of those fixed expenses, and deciding how much we're going to put into savings and towards paying off debt. Again, the spreadsheet is going to make this very easy to do for you. Now that we know our income for the next 2 years, and we know what it's going to take to pay for those fixed expenses, we're going to take everything that's left over, divide it into weeks, and then this becomes your weekly allowance. That was a really big jump right there, so let me say it again. Income for the next 2 years, subtract out fixed expenses for the next 2 years, take what's left and divide that into weeks. Instead of a typical budget that has lots of categories and things that you need to worry about, we just have one weekly allowance that you can spend on whatever you need to for that week. We call this your happy money. It's your one number to worry about, and you get a whole new allowance every week. So this is what you're going to use to cover all of the stuff I told you to ignore about earlier. Groceries, entertainment, clothing. You can't predict any of these ahead of time, so we're going to stop trying to do that. As you go through the week, you're going to decide how to spend your money. You are going to make your own trade-off decisions in the moment to say, should I buy these new shoes or do I want to go to a movie this weekend? You're going to figure out what you want to spend that money on and what you want to wait on. And remember, you get a whole new weekly allowance that's never very far away. Again, I know this is very different, but it works, and it teaches you how to use your money better. When you get this set up, the spreadsheet does all of the hard work for you, and you don't have to worry about anything else. You just stay within your weekly allowance. You don't have to worry about when payday is or when bills are due. You don't have to make up categories for all of the different ways that you spend your money. We're simplifying and getting rid of all of that. If you just stick to your weekly allowance, you're going to make it. That's all you need to do. There are so many psychological and emotional reasons why this works. Read our book if you want to get into all of that. Again, the link's in the description below. But the basic idea is that we're going to help you look 24 months into your future and then give you one weekly allowance to hit. In our next video, I'll walk you through how to do all of this step by step. So hopefully that helps answer some of your questions about how all of this works, and I'll see you in the next video.